Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
An investigation that took 3 days appears to have created more questions than answers. Good evening, I'm Tony Sandleben.
And I'm Victoria Moton. Thanks for joining us. It's an investigation that began Thursday afternoon and concluded Saturday morning. Until today, police have remained tight-lipped about the extensive search. The Delaware County massive investigation covering 140 acres involving James Buddy Reynolds, who died in 2012. We received information today from an informant who worked for Reynolds and has stepped up with allegations on murder and drugs. Nobody was found over the 2-day investigation, but according to Delaware County Chief Deputy Prosecutor Eric Hoffman, there is more information that has yet to be said.
At this point, I can just tell you that the search has concluded officially. What may happen in the future, I can't comment on.
Is there any information that you can give me on what you guys have found?
I cannot, not until the police officers file an inventory with the court.
Until we are certain with the information, we are still left with only allegations and speculations from informants giving prosecutors information, and the wait will continue.
Team of Ball State students are putting the finishing touches on the Freedom Bus. When it's finished, it will be a helpful tool to help the history of East Central Indiana. David K. Jones has the story.
A rolling museum will be coming to a community near you when it is completed. The Freedom Bus is a project the Martin Luther King Dream Team has been working on since 2011. It made a stop at Ball State University to introduce some of the temporary features it will soon have come next spring. Students, faculty, and staff were able to see and interact with the prototype over the weekend. Josh Terry enjoys learning things he didn't learn in school.
I like learning about the local histories of Muncie and East Central Indiana because growing up, that's something that I never learned about in my school.
Beth Messner is the coordinator for this project and feels that civil rights is also a local movement that more people should know about in East Central Indiana.
We all tend to kind of think of the movement as something that happened down south, right? It was a southern problem, a southern issue, but it wasn't, and it's still not a southern problem or a southern issue.
Sierra Trowbridge is on the design team and thinks that the Freedom Bus is beneficial to the children.
Giving kids that kind of personal connection, that personal experience that it happened here.
Sam Ralston thinks that the idea of the rolling museum is original.
Saying that we have like a civil rights museum on a bus, because most people are like, on a bus? Like, okay, a museum and a bus separately, but together it's kind of cool to put together.
Messner estimates that this project costs $120,000, excluding the value of the bus itself. This retired Miss bus has a rebuilt engine costing around $20,000. In spring of 2016, the Freedom Bus will be finalized and will feature full-fledged professional exhibits that include a lot of interactivity and the technology. In Muncie, David K. Jones, NewsLink, Indiana.
Tony, when I woke up this morning, the weather, I was liking the weather. You know, it was pretty, there wasn't too many clouds covering up the sky, but then it started to rain a little bit. How'd that affect your day?
Well, you know, it was really odd because you saw, I mean, even in the package we just saw, David, it was very bright outside. He was squinting into the camera, and it was a beautiful day outside, and then suddenly, you know, it just the clouds rolled in, and what do you know, it started sprinkling a little bit. And actually, I was walking out of one of my classes, blue sky, and I actually felt some rain. It was a very odd day weather-wise. Nathan DeYoung, what is going on with this weather? I know it's Indiana, but man, today was weird.
Well, today was a treat, and it's a little bit unusual for this time of year because we started off with those really cold temperatures, almost like early winter temperatures, and then we progressed through the day and then ended up having rainfall as of right now and still raining as we speak. Looking at the last 14 hours outside at McKinley and Riverside, you notice that we started off with those beautiful conditions, and then around 1 o'clock we began to see those sprinkles, and then later in the evening those rainy conditions continue to stick around. Currently outside, 46 degrees here in Muncie. The winds out of the east at 5 miles per hour, making it for kind of a dreary evening overall as it continues to rain into tonight. Looking at our morning lows this morning, we talked about those cold temperatures. You had to bring out those fleece jackets if you were headed out this morning. 29 degrees here in Muncie, 33 degrees in Indianapolis, 27 in Lafayette this morning. So definitely chilly start. Highs today all across Indiana painted a different picture. 58 degrees here in Muncie, 58 degrees in Indianapolis today. It's 60 degrees in Terre Haute. So overall, a really beautiful day once we got through that morning cold temperatures. For your bus stop forecast for the morning, 8 a.m. 41 degrees. Those kids might need those jackets in the morning. If you're headed out to class, you'll need those jackets. And then by the time we're finished up for the day, for those kiddos, 55 degrees and mild temperatures for the day tomorrow. Coming up in my full forecast, we're going to talk about another cold start for the day tomorrow. We're tracking some chances of severe weather to return on Wednesday. And when will we expect those late week sunshine conditions to return? All my complete forecast.
Thanks, Nathan. Russian athletes are in danger of being suspended from track and field events at the next Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. In a report released by the World Anti-Doping Agency, Russia's Secret Service allegedly intimidated workers at a drug testing lab, impersonated lab engineers, and destroyed over 1,400 samples. The samples were destroyed in case they revealed doping violations. Athletes were said to have adopted false identities to avoid surprise testing or pay off testers to get rid of doping violations. In a statement made today, the International Olympic Committee called the reports deeply shocking and trusts the right judgment will come to Russia.
One major theme park is closing its curtains on one of its traditional shows. SeaWorld is ending the killer whale show at its San Diego park after a wave of recent criticism and low attendance. At an investor conference, SeaWorld announced it will phase out the shows by the end of 2016. It will debut a new orca experience with a strong conservation message in 2017. Attendance at the San Diego park has dropped, and SeaWorld has faced animal cruelty claims after the 2013 documentary Blackfish, co-produced by CNN Films. No word on if the shows will also end at SeaWorld and other parks.
A massive sinkhole in Mississippi swallowed as many as 15 cars on Saturday. Officials say the sinkhole opened up at the parking lot of a brand new IHOP in Meridian. The hole is about 50 feet wide and 600 feet long. There are no reports of anyone being injured. Investigators were scheduled to start working yesterday to figure out why the sinkhole opened. The area received 10 inches of rain in the last 2 weeks, including 3 inches this weekend, but it's unclear if rain was a factor.
The University of Missouri conflicts have come to a climax. Find out what Ball State has in place to prevent racial tension.
And the Muncie Mission wants your help this holiday season. This and more when we come back.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
The University of Missouri is in turmoil tonight after its president is resigning.
I'm resigning as president of the University of Missouri System.
Timothy Wolf was the president of the University of Missouri school system. His resignation is the direct result of protests students at the university have been making over the issue of racism on the campus.
Use my resignation. Please, please use this resignation to heal, not to hate. And let's move forward together for a brighter tomorrow.
The protests included graduate student Jonathan Butler going on a hunger strike and the football team refusing to play their game this coming Saturday against Brigham Young University unless Wolf resigned. After Wolf resigned this morning, R. Bowen Lofton, the chancellor of Missouri's Columbus campus, also resigned.
The university's chancellor has also announced today that he will be stepping down as of January 1st.
A local church and food pantry need donations for Thanksgiving. NewsLink Indiana's Molly Carr has the story.
Muncie Mission and Feed My Sheep are taking donations for their annual free Thanksgiving dinner on November 26th. Residents and students at Ball State University can donate at local restaurants.
Yeah, so what we do is we serve Thanksgiving meals on Thanksgiving. We give out about 1,200 meals to some of the less fortunate in Muncie. And we also hand out grocery bags as well.
Donations are needed for Muncie Mission and Feed My Sheep. People can donate at Ball State University or other local restaurants. For the mission, the location will be 1725 South Liberty Street. Feed My Sheep will serve its 20th annual Thanksgiving Day.
Today, we will serve 150 meals plus to the public, and then we'll actually deliver 200 or more different meals to like nursing homes and to places that people can't get out, to individual homes.
The public is also invited to a Thanksgiving praise service for mission residents and staff. For NewsLink Indiana, I'm Molly Carr, and back to you in the studio.
Charles Whittington is facing 170 years in prison after being found guilty earlier today in the murder of 2 Hartford City residents. Whittington, also known as Mad Dog, shot 40-year-old Shane Williamson and his 14-year-old daughter, Caitlin, outside their apartment building in downtown Hartford City in February of this year. The jury found the defendant guilty of 2 counts of murder, as well as firearm violations, which could extend his sentence anywhere from 5 to 20 years. The judge has set sentencing for Whittington on November 30th. And coming up, find out if today's showers will continue into the night.
And clear skies are right around the corner. We'll have your full weather forecast right after this.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Victoria, I got to tell you, this morning was very, very cold. It was an interesting day coming out, seeing sunshine, which was really nice, but it was like 30 degrees when I was walking to my first class this morning. Very, very chilly outside.
I have to admit that I'm happy about the cold weather, though. My mother gave me a whole bunch of new scarves to wrap up in, so I got to put on my cardigan, my nice boots, and all of my scarves, so I'm happy about that.
See, I'm not quite the fashionista I believe that you are. I don't, the scarves, for some reason, I don't think I can really pull those off. The boots either, but hey, you know what? It's okay. We can all look good and bundle up weather. So, Nathan DeYoung, I got to ask, there was rain today. You were talking about severe weather in the break. Is that really going to happen? Please tell me there's not going to be severe weather coming up this week.
Guys, let's start from the beginning here. You talked about that cold weather, and that's exactly what happened this morning. And then people had to bring out those umbrellas, rain ponchos, whatever you do to protect yourself from the rain, because as of right now, you notice that the rainfall continues to fall right here in Muncie all the way up to the current hour. And this is due to a strong low pressure system that moved through the area earlier this afternoon, leaving us with, well, you guessed it, rainfall all across the area, leaving us for a soggy Monday night. Looking at current temperatures all across the state of Indiana, we are cooling off because of those rain showers that did develop this afternoon. 46 degrees here currently in Muncie, 45 in Indianapolis, 49 in Lafayette, and 47 degrees in places like Bloomington. Now, I did want to bring up the currents because it is still raining here in Muncie. It is 46 degrees, but what we do have to watch are these winds, as they are going to begin to make the shift as we continue to see this front pass through the area in the overnight hours. Looking at precision cast, you notice that by Tuesday, 3 a.m., you notice the showers will continue to make their way out of our area and will continue to linger around into the early parts of tomorrow morning, where we could see a couple scattered clouds sticking around for the early parts of the morning, but overall clearing out to be a nice day for the daytime tomorrow. Let's stop here at Wednesday at 11 a.m. because Wednesday is when we're tracking our next chances of severe weather to develop. We're going to stop here again at 6 p.m. where we're seeing the greatest chance of some storms to begin developing here in the state of Indiana. You notice that the clouds begin to move in the area by 6 p.m., but out here by Quincy and Champaign, you notice the rain showers are continuing to develop, and they'll push our way as they move east. 11 o'clock by Wednesday, you notice that the showers will begin to develop, forming into a system that the National Weather Service and us here at NewsLink are watching very closely. And then you notice by 2 a.m. on Thursday, the showers will continue to move out of the area, leaving us with a cloudy start and afternoon for Thursday. Now let's talk a little bit more about the severe weather risk for Wednesday. The SPC has put us in a slight risk of severe weather. Right now, the primary threats are looking like gusty winds and also some torrential downpours at points. For the rest of tonight, 39 degrees is your overnight low. We will see those rain showers stick around, where we can see a 1/10 to a 1/4 inch of rain over in the overnight hours with those northeast winds at 5 miles per hour. Looking at your day planner for tomorrow, tomorrow's going to be a pretty decent day. We will have that chance of some clouds in the early parts of the morning, but turning out to be pretty decent overall. We will hit 55 by 3 o'clock, 49 by 6 p.m. You notice with those clear skies, our temperatures are going to be able to drop off really quickly, allowing us to cool down and get into those temperatures like we are having this evening, down to 39. Looking at your 7-day forecast, we are tracking the next system to move through Wednesday evening and into the early parts of Thursday morning. However, once the system moves through, because it is a strong low pressure system, we are tracking that we do have those breezy conditions return for Friday and Saturday, but the temperatures are going to stay pretty decent for this time of year. Friday 47 degrees and then Saturday 48 degrees. And then guys, look at Sunday into Monday. Those temperatures are going to continue to stay a little bit on the mild side, but however, the sunny skies are going to return, allowing us to have a decent week. However, long-term forecasting for Wednesday, we are tracking your next chance of precipitation. So we do have a little bit of a break after the system moves through tonight.
So Nathan, what I'm hearing you say is that it's time to bust out the hot chocolate, put on some nice movies, sit inside the house and get cuddled up and warm. Is that what I'm hearing?
I think that's the best recommendation at this point, because we are, with those clear skies over the next couple days, we are going to have that ability to be able to cool off really quickly. We'll be able to hit those daytime highs in the middle temperatures up to 55 degrees. But with the clear skies, it allows us the opportunity to cool off at the overnight hours really quickly. Like tonight, 39 degrees, but tomorrow we'll hit that high tomorrow and it'll be really nice. So just little things like that we have to keep an eye out, but hot chocolate is definitely probably the solution to this.
All right, well, fantastic. Thank you very much, Nathan DeYoung. Coming up next, Casey Miller joins us with your NewsLink Indiana Sports. Some state championships occurred over this weekend. Your full recap is next.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Well, 2 Delaware County volleyball teams fighting to become state champions. I'm Casey Miller with your NewsLink Indiana Sports. Now, Ball State's Worthen Arena, the site of the 2015 IHSAA Girls Volleyball Championship, and a pair of Delaware County teams in the hunt for a state title. And we begin with Wapahani taking on Speedway in the 2A game. In the first set point, Wapahani, and look at this, Speedway's Callie Collins is blocked by Skylar Van Note, and the Raiders take set 1, 25-17. But Speedway wouldn't go away that easily. Restoria Perry with the pass here, and Melanie McHenry with a big kill. The Sparkplugs claim the second set. But later, match point now for Wapahani. 1 away from state. Haven Gates, her serve rolls over the net for the ace, and the Raiders become the 2A state champions.
Defense was amazing. I think they already knew that for the most part the plan was going to be that they had one kid they had to stop, and it's been that way through the whole tournament. So we knew we had 6 and 7 that could come in there and get the job done, and defense was huge with the back row attacks, and very, very proud of them. Young team, and hope we'll be back here.
Meanwhile, Yorktown volleyball in the 3A title game against Providence. Things went south quickly for the Tigers, though. In the first set, Jackie Horning lays down a big kill to claim set number 1. Providence would thoroughly dismantle Yorktown, winning in 3 straight to claim its 3rd consecutive state championship. Yorktown finishes 38-2 on the season as state runner-up. And the Ball State field hockey coach steps down today after just 9 months on the job. Sally Northcroft says she will return to Australia, where she coached before she took the helm here in Muncie. Northcroft returned to coach Muncie, her alma mater here at Ball State. She led the nation in scoring in 1999 for the Cardinals. In her one season as coach, Northcroft led the Cardinals to a 2-16 record. And after scoring more than 150 points in an exhibition, the Ball State women's basketball team prepares for the regular season. NewsLink Indiana's Kelsey Anderson talked to Coach Brady Salee about how his team is preparing.
This Friday, the women's basketball team opens up their season in Charlotte, North Carolina, after being ranked number 2 in the preseason polls.
We feel like we've got the ingredients to win a championship this year. And so really, if we just go worry about ourselves and we become the best Ball State basketball team we can be, we feel like we can beat anybody in this league. I think we're a little bit longer, a little bit more athletic than we've been. We're a little bit deeper. And I think you'll see some things defensively and offensively that we're trying to do a little bit different this year based on some of the rule changes and based on our personnel. And like I said, trying to build the best product we can, and we feel like we've got the pieces in place that if we can do that, it'll pay off.
In Muncie, I'm Kelsey Anderson for NewsLink Indiana.
And the women tip off their season this Friday against Charlotte at 5:30 p.m. Now, guys, we're kind of in that transition phase right now between sports. Basketball season about ready to get started, and I've got to say I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, well, it was really cool to see the women put up those offensive numbers in that exhibition game. 151 points. That is something else. But thank you very much, Casey. Coming up, find out how to jumpstart your holiday shopping list.
And how to entertain yourself this weekend. Stay tuned.
And welcome to NewsLink Entertainment. I am Mackenzie Clark. Today is the last day to register for Minnetrista's Glass Workshop, taking place this Wednesday at 6 p.m. For $30, you can learn how to etch holiday ornaments and then give them to your family as gifts. If you didn't know, Christmas is only 6 weeks away, so if you want to jumpstart on your holiday shopping list, now's the time to do it. You can go to their website at minnetrista.net to register. And if you haven't heard, Chris Young is coming over to Ball State, and I hope that's all right, because those are the exact lines that he'll be singing at Emmons Auditorium this Friday. Tickets are $25 for Ball State students with your student ID and $35 for the general public. You can pick up your tickets at the Emmons box office. And burlesque with cabaret singers for one night only. You can be entertained by the Star Follies Burlesque Group. Put on by the Muncie Civic Theater and Stage 2 Productions. The show is this Friday at 11 p.m. Tickets are $10, and you must be 18 years or older to attend.
Well, thank you very much, Mackenzie. Michael, Nathan, it's time for one final look at weather. Whoever you are.
Yeah, so we started off with really cold temperatures, but tomorrow 56 degrees with those partly cloudy skies. Next chance of precipitation returns on Wednesday.
All right, thank you very much, Nathan. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night.